Hi, I'm gonna show you my spaceship today. This is the Phobocaster, named after a submarine of all things. It's the first ship that I build, though I have been expanding on it and modifying it ever since. Let's close the door. Nice. So, let's take a look around. There isn't too much I've done. I've seen ships where people have done way more to modify the thing than I have. So, I've got a first aid station here. I've got a hazard protection unit here for restoring shields, I think. I've got a free loot box that randomly has stuff in it every once in a while. It's very neat. Got this main corridor, which leads to the left and right side room. This is the right side room with 2 more loot boxes and a fancy box that I need a special pass for. I don't know why. Got some plants growing over here. Got a wheelbarrow, and I got a whole bunch of stuff in here. This is cargo space. Cars don't usually go to space, but this is where I store stuff. Then we've got some kind of cryopod. I don't know if that actually does anything. Cryopod? No, it's not a cryopod. This is like a surgery repair thing. Who knows? This is a weird little snack bar thing. And we've got this place. It's still a work in progress, because I could use more of these displays and display more of my favorite planets. A couch for sleeping on, because the beds in this place are terrible. A weirdly clippy box. Got a drawer. Some servers. One of the beds that I mentioned, I don't know why there's a bed in here. I don't know why this place is weirdly lit as well. It's usually a problem with being in a space station. So problems that I would have with this bed is it's kind of short, it's very round. If you're too long for this, it'd be really uncomfortable, because my knees don't typically bend forward. So, also, this looks like something you would bump into a lot, this sweet little shelf. In my experience, these shelves are untrustworthy. I once had one of these fall down right next to me, scraping along the wall. It was maybe too overloaded with books. Maybe that was my fault. Who knows? I do like the aesthetic of this tile set. There's 3 ship interior variants. I'm using 2 of 3 in this ship. So I'm only using the mostly using this tile, because I like how it looks. So now that I've shown you these rooms and this room, great. Now let's go upstairs. So this is the habitat room zone. Oh, what's with the light? Let's just fly out of this place and examine everything while we're in space, which is one of the benefits of flying around in a Corvette. You can exit the cockpit and walk around your spaceship. So let's just park ourselves somewhere over here. Or I guess we could just drift around. This doesn't really make a difference. Space is pretty empty. So, now that everything looks a little more normal, we can turn on the flashlight just to make sure that YouTube doesn't do anything funky and make everything too dark or something. So over here we have a kitchen. This is part of the second tile set that I'm using. It looks a lot more cargo ship submarine-y, I suppose, except that it's a bit too spacious for a submarine. Still, it has this extremely industrial sort of look with this bed over here. This bed is, I don't know, it commits different crimes than the round one, because this one, it looks like it's just on a steel plate, which can't be too comfortable. Then there's like a very thin sort of padding on top of there, which I'm really sold on that. I guess the blanket and pillow look kind of nice. I would probably just sleep on the couch downstairs if I had to live in this place. This place doesn't have a bathroom though, so that's a bit of a problem. At least this thing has a shelf. I don't know, I would probably make my enemies sleep on this one, but it's kind of close to the cockpit, so maybe not a good idea. Looks more like a brig bed than a proper bed. Don't know why it has a gate. grate thing over there. Has all sorts of things that look very... Ah, that was my alarm. There's a lot of things that look very unpleasant to bump into. Over here we have a kitchen. I like this kitchen because it looks like an actual kitchen. The snack bar thing downstairs is the variant for this tile set of the kitchen. So this is effectively the same thing, at least in a gameplay sense. But I much prefer the way that this kitchen looks, with a actual stove and a sink and a whatever this machine is. It's has a tube into a wall. Maybe it's just like a drink machine. That'd be nice, having something to drink. It has a this funny sink has a, is it a boiler or something? And then you can have this thing that has a little faucet and a drain. You have something that might be an oven and a few drawers, and we've got a little table with a very funky looking short chair and a little table that has a sort of a radio computer thingamajig on it. And has a wall thing, whatever that is. And we got a fan. So all in all, looks kind of sad, but at least it's functional. So if you do need a kitchen, this tile set does have one. There's another kitchen in the really fancy tile set, but tile set, why do I call it tile set? It's not technically a tile set, but I guess people might understand what I mean. But I do just prefer that one. I do like this one because the empty, non-occupied walls in this ship set are really nice and decorated. Makes the ship look a lot less empty, even if I don't put much in the way of furniture over here. So this side of the ship... Oh no! This side of the ship has a bunch of greenery on it. And this is what greenery looks like on the more boxy ship type. I do like how many nice little moving parts there are, like we've got these fans, the fog, smoke, water stuff. This place could be better lit. I suppose I could install some more lights at some point. Another snack corner for the hungry person. And there's a refiner unit, except it's the more industrial looking refiner, I suppose, with a bunch of cables going all over the place. I think it would probably be bad if one of these cables gets stuck in there, so maybe having these all over the place is not a good thing. Also, I don't know what that valve does. Is that a valve? Does it just open up the wall? It's not good. Right, so then we have tons of refiners over here for, well, refining a lot of things. Maybe I just need to refine a giant batch of one resource, and since I can only refine one type of resource inside one refiner, having multiple refiners is nice. As far as I know, the bug still exists that the game just forgets what is inside your refiners when you, like, accelerate in the spaceship using the fast move thingy, so you can only really use these when you're standing still, well, when you're not moving. And you have to basically just stay close to your refiners at all times. They may not be out of render distance. Which, well, I mean, as long as I stay in the ship and don't fly around is fine. But it's kind of annoying that that's a problem in the first place. So we have the mission radar. I don't know why they call it a mission radar. I mean, a radar and a mission. Why would I have missions on my radar? That's not what a radar does. It doesn't find missions. Whatever. So this is a thing, a console where I can pick up generic missions to do stuff. Unfortunately for piracy, there's the issue that when I want to do pirate quests, to get a pirate quest and turn in a pirate quest, I need to land in a pirate station, and these big ships inside large stations always park really far away from every vendor and every quest giver and everything. And on pirate stations, there's no short-range teleporter that would take me to the vendor, so you need to walk really far every time I do a quest for these people, which means that I do prefer doing piracy missions with a fighter, just because I don't have to walk as much to talk to the piracy man. I would much prefer to just use something like this to turn in the quest and everything, but Right, so I think the last part that is somewhat noteworthy that isn't the exterior is this. Here we have the cockpit with tons of buttons that probably do something. There's a turret over there. Doesn't do anything though. Maybe this is like a Millennium Falcon sort of thing. At least that's what I think it might be vaguely inspired by. I do really like this cockpit. There's a extremely smooth cockpit that looks kind of funny on the outside that has an extremely clean first-person view, which is nice. But I also like this extremely just busy screen with all the stuff on it. Also, just having all these buttons is just super nice. It's one of the reasons why I like the KA50 in a game I won't mention. Has a very nice cockpit with a lot of screens and buttons on it. So we have more random tubes that do something probably. Whatever these canisters are. Something that I did find funny is that these things are all wrapped up. I don't know why. I guess for in-atmosphere flight, so nothing flies around. These aren't. Maybe they're secured by some other means. So I have no idea what these things could possibly do. I'm not too familiar with actual, like, aircraft buttons and everything. Like, I've watched a couple tutorials on every button and every dial and a K50 and a couple other aircraft, so at least some of these I have the vaguest idea what they do, even though I forgot most of what it actually was in the video, so don't quote me on, or don't rely on me for plain information, but we got this, has text on it. Why does this have text in it? How am I supposed to read this? It says a stretchy texture in it. Has a few blinky lights. That's nice. I always like to have a bunch of lights in my ship. I guess I can turn off my flashlight. Oop. Now I can't see anything. Yeah. So we got more buttons, and this is the seat. It is a seat. The flashlight doesn't seem to affect it. I don't know why. It's a bit suspicious that it doesn't. It has a green sort of thing. Maybe that's like the super accelerator lever for space travel. Has a spine. I don't know why my chair has a spine. It's a bit suspicious that it does that. I wonder how many of these like interfaces I have multiple ones of. I suppose it's good to have some redundancy. Alright, yeah, I have the gun chair. I don't know how you would get up here, like in universe. It's kind of you just do a pull-up and just sort of squeeze in there. I assume there would be a button around here somewhere that lowers this, and then you can sit in it and go back up. Seems to have another pilot chair seat thingy, and have these. And you can see over there there's something that looks vaguely similar to the console on the front of the ship. But yeah, then there's a gun over there, so this is like a strange sort of gunner position, I suppose. Doesn't actually do anything though, it's just decorative. No one can actually sit in there. So, let's take a seat in the spaceship. No cool sitting down animation, but that's preferable since I imagine having to watch a sit down animation every time I try to get in here would be kind of annoying. Using left alt I can look around. I do try to keep the cockpit or the area around the cockpit relatively free, so I can actually use all of the window that this thing has. It can happen very easily to just make a ship that has something on the side or on the top, or especially the bottom, that just sort of covers up some of these windows, and I think that's a bit of a shame. I've got all this window, and then I put like a giant wing or strut over there, and I cannot use it. Typically I don't really use the free look too much, since it's kind of slow and has this weird sway thing. I move my mouse a little bit and then it just slides everywhere. Like it's a wet bar of soap. And yeah, and I can fly around. So what does this thing look like on the outside, you might wonder? Well, wonder no further, because I can use this. I can also move the sun. It's a bit scary that I can do that. This is the outside of the ship. Let's look at the top first. We got a gun over there, which is weirdly attached, not actually attached. Let's just pretend that this thing is attached. Got a missile. Got a gun. I ran out of parts, or well, I'm only allowed to have 100 ship parts, so I couldn't place a second gun. I got a shotgun sort of thing over there. I should have them more centered, but there was just no space for these. Like, I know there's a bunch of empty space, but you cannot... It's sort of a tile-based system, and I cannot just put things where I want to put them. I can only put them on attachable spots or something, and there's just no space for that sort of stuff in the front. Yeah, we got these. These really don't do anything. They're just decorative. I imagine they wouldn't do anything, especially in space, but assume they're for planetary flight sort of stuff. These are the light speed, atmospheric thrusters. For some reason, these have the best stats out of any thrusters that I have installed on this. Why the space thrusters don't have more fast, I don't know. So yeah, we've got a nice smooth sort of shape. We got wings over here. They don't. Most of this is just decorative. The stuff in the middle over there, that's those bits actually have stats and change the ship. These balls, I don't like them, but they increase the shield of the ship by quite a lot, so I have the balls despite the fact I don't really want these. They're just really effective and there isn't anywhere I could hide them, so we got balls in the back. Red balls. Over here, let's look at the bottom. I guess I can move the sun over there. Ugh. That's not disorienting at all. Disorienting at all. Ugh. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 thrusters, though the 2 thrusters are one part. I used to have a longer thruster in here, but I do prefer the stats on this one, especially since I only get stats from 3 thrusters in total. And I get stats from the one on the left there, the one on the right, the one on the left here, and the one on the right. Not the other way around. I'm not an idiot. These things. So I did put a couple of parts in the bottom. I don't look at the bottom that much. It's kind of difficult to do anything with the bottom in the first place, since you cannot lift the ship in the ship designer, which is something you can do in most games where you build anything. So I think that's something of a shortcoming. I don't know why the bottom here looks like that. Anyway, we've got some Z fighting over here. That's great. And yeah, we got some more weapons. These are the landing feet sort of thing. The landing whatever. Looks kind of funny on the bottom actually. And they also have like a rocket thruster. So I guess these are what's used for landing. Though I assume these things, the rotors. These probably also help with the land. Oh, made a screenshot by accident. Wow. Yeah. So this is the ship, the Phobocaster, based on nothing really. I just sort of made this. The name is borrowed from Aquanox, but shh, don't tell anyone. Yeah, I'm not really happy with how this looks, but there wasn't any different way I could think of fitting the wing over here. And I really wanted the wing. Like, I couldn't have like a sort of sloped part like this that also has a space for a wing on the side, so we've just got this weird little corner over here. I could probably grab a longer rear thruster so this doesn't look so empty. Oh yeah, this over here, this is the landing ramp. You can enter and exit the ship from there. Yeah, this spaceship. It is a ship that goes to space. This looks like a lot of exposed stuff that shouldn't be exposed, but oh well, what do I know? I'm not a ship, I'm not a space engineer. Yeah. Oh yeah, also has a lot of guns. Pew pew pew. That's a lot of shooting. Oh yeah, I suppose before I end the video, we can look at these over here. These are the actual dials that have stuff on them. All these others, they don't actually do anything, unfortunately. I cannot even interact with them, they're just kind of there. These ones actually do have information on them. For some reason, I have them doubled each. I have 2 of each. I suppose they wanted to have they wanted the player to have more screens, but couldn't think of anything to put on them, so they just have same screen twice each. So this is my username, the some kind of number. This doesn't mean how fast I'm going. This is a distance of some sort. Or prosper. Guess it's a planet name. Maybe that indicates how far away I am from a planet. Don't know why it would tell me that. That's my gun. That tells me how hot my gun is. That should have a model of my ship in it, but it doesn't for some reason. Cannot look at my ship. It only says what my ship is called and has my HP on it. My gun again. Yeah, that's my speed. If I move forwards, it does that. And yeah, that's the ship. Oh yeah, we've got this thing over here, but that's just a general UI element. Practically every ship has this. Though I haven't really flown every ship. I have never flown a meat ship, and I don't really want to. Meat ships look kind of gross. Now this is a space station. But since I am in an allied space region where the Vikine live, and I don't really want to fly over to where the Gek are. I don't want to like demonstrate shooting things. And I can shoot empty space as much as I want. These people don't care. But if I shoot their space station or their ships, they get really upset at me. Which, you know, I would probably be upset too if some random stranger came up in their weird-looking ship and shot me. But to be fair, this game probably has weirder-looking ship than mine. Weirder-looking ships. Yeah. Who even languages these days? I don't know how to speak. But why did you zoom? Stop zooming. I don't want to zoom. Yeah, I've got a little joystick sort of thing, and I wonder why they call them that. We got a acceleration thingy over here, and a whatever this does. I guess if I enter mega space speed, so this is the regular boost. Does anything over here change? Oh yeah, this thing is moved forwards, right? So if I don't boost, no. Okay, so if I decelerate, this goes backwards. If I accelerate, this goes forwards. Does anything change if I boost? Not as far as I can tell. What happens if I enter FTL mode? Oh, I cannot. Okay, FTL mode engaged. Okay, so does anything change? No. Oh yeah, now this screen over there has a pulse engine active. This screen is apparently only for telling me about the pulse engine, so it's some genius UI design over there. What's this purple planet about? Why is it purple? Verdant planet. What do you mean verdant? What does verdant mean? I guess we can take a look and then the video's over. Because I cannot just mention a random planet and then go, oh, well, I'm gonna look at this planet. I'll never show you about the funny planet. Ooh! And it's gonna fly over here and take a look. Oh no, space rocks from nowhere. I don't like rocks. Recent events have given me a severe distaste for rocks of any kind. I don't like rocks anymore. What do you mean community research milestone tier 2 complete? Huh? What does that have to do with anything? Oh, it has a nice blue atmosphere. Unfortunately, everything's purple. The water's blue. I guess if the plants were green and the dirt was more... I guess this is sort of dirt colored. then I would probably maybe even look for a settlement on here, but it's purple. I don't know if I really dig the purple. Let's take a look around. Weather blissful. What do you mean blissful? This is not one of the planets that just randomly boils every couple of minutes? It's not. Oh, it has little balls on it. Huh? Okay. Has these pillars on it? Huh. I guess this place is kind of neat. I'm gonna build a base here. I'm not gonna record that though. Fare thee well, dear viewer. What the heck is that? I don't like that. I mean, farewell, dear viewer. This is the end of the video. For the 5 people watching this, or the 1 person who has seen all of this, thank you a lot for watching the video. I cannot scan this. Fare thee well. Goodbye. Auf Wiedersehen. Das Vidania.